Guys, I'm out here today fishing the Falcon Cara Amistad. This is a 7.3 heavy, rated half ounce to 1.5 ounce. And this has become one of my favorite rods of all time, honestly. It's actually the rod that convinced me to sell my NRX Plus. Now, the NRX Plus I had was the 873 Carolina rig rod. And while that rod was great, this rod, to me, does everything that rod does just as well, but for less than half the price. So I couldn't, in my own good conscience, keep that 873 when I had this. You know, it just didn't really make sense to me. So this is now one of my dedicated, not even jig rods, just all around, just heavy technique rods. I can throw heavy Texas rigs with this, anything from like a 3/8 ounce jig up to like a 1 ounce jig. I also throw big heavy spinner baits, big 6-inch 1 ounce jig head swim baits, throw smaller glide baits on this. I even throw like the 6-inch, you could throw like a HUD 68 on this, no problem at all. This rod is just so versatile, and it's really become a staple in my collection. I actually have two of them now, one with 17-pound fluoro and then one with 50-pound braid, and that's actually my frog rod. So super versatile, can basically do anything you throw at it. Now, with that being said, obviously one of the things you get when you buy an NRX Plus is like the incredible build quality and like lifetime warranty, which Falcons also have the lifetime warranty on their Caras. But you get really nice cork. You can see on this, like, I'm getting some pitting already. I didn't seal this. I don't really seal my gear. I don't really care that much about how it looks. My rods are tools to me, so how they look doesn't really matter as long as they perform. You know, just basic Fuji reel seat. I think it's Fuji guides, I'm not entirely sure, and honestly I don't really care because this thing is just awesome regardless of whatever's on it. All right, let's go out and catch some with this thing. I'm sure I've already shown some B-roll of me throwing, I think, a 6-inch swim bait and a jig, which is obviously what I'm throwing now. So let's see if I could actually hook into some for you. Right under the boat. Not a big one. Smoked it though. As far as sensitivity is concerned, this obviously it's not going to be quite as sensitive as the NRX Plus, but it hasn't really affected how I fish. Honestly, it's plenty sensitive to feel bites. I've been feeling rock. I've been feeling everything that I've been fishing. I don't know how sensitive you need your gear to be, but for $250, I don't know if the NRX is worth the extra $400 jump, you know? In my case, it certainly isn't. Now, as far as how this rod feels, it feels strikingly similar to the NRX Plus, actually. It balances great, like maybe an inch in front of the locking nut. I don't have the exact weights of the NRX in this rod, but I can tell you that they're very similar, to where if you put the same reel on both and held both, based on weight and balance, you might not be able to tell the difference. That was sick. Follow the jig in. Maybe they want moving baits. That was really sick, actually. There we go. That's the best one so far. Probably 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds. Crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. Man, skinny fella. I'd say one of the main characteristics that makes this rod so versatile is its power and taper. Now, of course, it's a heavy power. I use it for jigs and heavier presentations. But it's rated as a fast, but as you can see, it's got a soft tip, and it kind of loads a little deeper into the blank than you would expect a fast action to. Because it's so powerful, being mixed with that softer tip, it lets you get really strong hook sets, but the taper of the rod being so soft, it lets those fish stay pinned. And that's what makes it equally as good a jig rod as a moving bait rod. Oh my God. That's the best one of the day. I doubt I'm gonna get better than that. That's a 5.5 right there. Look at that fish. 5.1. That's a pretty good one right there. Jeez. Yep, there he is. Not bad at all. Solid day, solid showcase of this rod that I think everyone should own at least one of. This thing is so sick. It's one of my favorites. I always have one on my deck. And I think you should too. So if you're interested in a rod that can basically do everything you throw at it, moving baits, bottom contact, anything from 1/2 ounce, even 3/8 ounce, up to like 1 1/4 ounce, even like some small A-rigs, this will do it just fine. So I think everybody should own at least one of these. I always have one on my deck. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your time as always. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next one.